Hello everyone, and today I'll be talking about what the Libertarian Party, other state parties, and independents should be doing from 2020 to 2024. Now, in this video, I might mostly talk about the Libertarian Party, but I'll also be talking about third parties and independents as well. So, the Libertarian Party, as America's third largest party, it should be focusing more on wanting in state and local and county and local candidates. That way, when they win, they can try to convince the voters to vote for the presidential ticket in 2024, which would make the vote totals go up, and it might have a libertarian revolution in America. Now, speaking of state elections, they really should try to convince Jacob Hornberger to run for governor of Virginia in 2021, because Jacob Hornberger is one of the most principled and articulate people in the liberty movement. And if he was able to get in the Virginia governor rates, I have no doubt that he would win, and he could inspire voters to vote for him and make a real change in Virginia, even if he didn't have a high chance of winning. Now, while we're still on the topic of governorship elections, they should also have candidates run in 2022, and I think that's where majority of governor elections happen. And my home state of Florida, will also elect another governor in 2022. So the Libertarian Party of Florida has two options. A, they want a candidate, or B, they endorse a candidate from another third party. For example, in the 2018 Florida governor election, there was someone named J.C. Richardson running. And the Libertarian Party didn't have any candidates really to run for governor of Florida. So I feel like the Libertarian Party should have endorsed J.C. Richardson, and J.C. Richardson was from the Reform Party, so it's not like there was much of an ideological difference. I mean, you could argue there's some differences, but not that much of a difference where it would be like polarizing if they did endorse him. Also, they should have a candidate on for Orange County mayor in Florida. If they can't have a governor candidate, then they really should have someone run for Orange County mayor, which, if you didn't know, in Florida, that's the same county that Orlando is in. So if a Libertarian successfully ran and became Orange County mayor, imagine the influence they could have in the 2024 presidential election. And while we're on the topic of mayor, they really should have someone run for mayor of Washington, D.C. If a Libertarian were to run for mayor of Washington, D.C., like, I know this is kind of a stretch because Jacob Hornberger lives in Virginia and not Washington, D.C., but Virginia is close by. Well, let's say theoretically he were able to move there. If we were able to get him elected as Libertarian mayor of Washington, D.C., that would bring a major change. That would bring major attention to libertarians, because basically libertarians would be mayor of the capital city in the United States of America, and usually only one party has been able to elect mayors there, and that is the Democrat Party. So as you can see, that would bring major attention to the Libertarian Party if we were able to get that done. Now, Also, another third party news, if Kanye West, I've heard that he's going to run again in 2024. If he's serious about it, he should run with a reform party, and he should build it up so it has ballot access in all 50 states. The reason why I say this is because the Libertarian Party most likely will have ballot access in all 50 states like it did in 2020. And if Kanye West were able to put his money in the Reform Party, get ballot access in all states, the duopoly, which consists of Republicans and Democrats, they would not have one competitor, but two competitors that have ballot access in all 50 states, and that would threaten the Republican and Democrats' power, and it might bring real change in America. Not to mention, even the Green Party might have ballot access in all 50 states as well, which would really start to threaten the power of Republicans and Democrats, and really, maybe it would even change them to stop being so authoritarian and bring them closer to liberty. Now, the Libertarian Party most likely is going to have debates during the presidential nominations. So, they should be contacting the local media when they have their presidential debates. Now, it's probably going to most likely be the state media or county media, whichever one they can do. And if they are able to get live coverage of their full debates in local media, it could inspire more people to look at the Libertarian Party and be interested in what they're doing, and maybe come and join the Libertarian Party because they'd be tired of what the two parties had to offer them all these years and decades. Because that's a problem with the Libertarian Party. It hasn't been able to get sufficient media attention. So if they contact the local media and the local media is interested in giving them live coverage, then they could really start to make a change. Now also, the Free and Equal Election Foundation, if you don't know what it is, it basically gives third parties candidates, it allows them to debate and allows them to debate, and it kind of like the Commission on Presidential Debates allows the two major party candidates to debate. But the thing is, it's much more fair, and it actually lets free thought in debates, and it doesn't just lock out third parties. So the free and equal debates could also ask the local media in whatever city or county that they're doing a debate, and if the local media gives full live coverage, it can also give interest to third parties in that debate, third parties and independent candidates in that debate, which could also bring major change as well. And this year, the Free and Equal Debate Foundation, they basically did one debate where it was like a general debate where multiple candidates from third parties came, and the candidates and the parties hadn't been nominated yet. And then they did one where after that they did one where the candidates and third parties all had their nominees, and they all had a debate with each other. That was a yawn. But now, my final point is the Libertarian Party in 2024, they should basically have Justin Amash one for president, and as vice president, they should have Jacob Hornberger. And the reason why I say this is because these radicals and pragmatists in the party, and having these two icons with each other would basically unite the two groups, and then the Libertarian Party might have its biggest vote total in its history. It might even get more than they might get at least 10 to 15%, which would be a major milestone for the party. And another reason why I say this is because a lot of people want Justin Amash in 2024. So the question has shifted to who should be Amash's vice president, and I think Jacob Hornberger would be the best person for that role. That's all I have to say, everyone, and goodbye for now.